Nether tokens. Task 1. First purchase in progress. Spend at least 100,000 Nether tokens. Reward. Cash. Card X1. Soul Purification Liquor. X10. Our protagonist, Yulin, wakes up after hearing the system's voice. It has been 3 years since he was brought back to life and received the system. A second chance at life and a system. Just what a person needs to make it in life. However, he has 9 trillion Nether tokens. But the catch is, he has to die before he can use them, and only a fool would want to die again. As he thought this, he was suddenly surprised to see blood on his washroom mirror. He wondered what the hell this was. However, the blood changed into text, saying, "Congratulations, you have the opportunity to join the 5th closed beta test of Global Menace. The dungeon will start at 12 p.m. Yulin was confused and wondering what this was. It wasn't a prompt from the ultimate Tycoon system. The system is in his mind, and he knows what it says without reading the words. That means these bloody words aren't from the system. When he touched the blood on the mirror, he suddenly felt like something was trying to summon him, and this thing's touch gave him a grisly, cold, eerie, bloody, yet familiar vibe. However, he calmed himself down, thinking the game's going to kick off at 12 a.m. tomorrow. The bloody words say it's the 5th closed beta test, so this game must have been around for a while. He wondered if there was info about this game online. He just needed to figure out what the hell it was first. A moment later, he searched on Google for Global Menace, but didn't find any reliable information about it. But suddenly, he noticed a post about the notice of Global Menace closed beta test, which said, "Dear friend, if you've received the blood invitation, I regret to inform you that Global Menace is real. Those unexplained incidents in different locations are linked to the return of Global Menace players. The newly established Number 9 Investigation Center was actually created by the government to look into the Global Menace issue. People selected by the game will enter a dungeon crawling with vicious ghosts. These ghosts will kill them the moment they break the rules set inside. At least half of the players die in each dungeon. However, the survivors will gain the chance to control the ghosts and their objects within the game. To die or to live, it depends on your strength. Good luck." After reading the post, Yulin wondered if the presence of ghosts in the game implied their existence in the real world too. Joining the beta test might be a good idea if he could gain the ability to fight ghosts in advance. Plus, with the system he possessed, he might have a better chance of surviving. Maybe even the Nether token system is linked to this gruesome game, he thought. However, at the end of the day, he could only rely on himself. If he wanted to survive, he must seize every chance he got. At midnight, 12 p.m., Yulin prepared everything he could, saying, "Given the short notice, this is the best I..." Notification popped up in front of him saying, "Welcome to Global Menace. Title of the dungeon, Underworld Inn. Task." Suddenly, might have a better. If he wanted to survive, he must seize every chance he got. At midnight, 12 p.m., Yulin prepared everything he could, saying, "Given the short notice, this is the best I could prepare." When the watch struck 12 p.m., suddenly, a bright light appeared in front of Yulin, and the floor he was standing on started cracking. After that, a system notification popped up in front of him saying, "Welcome to Global Menace. Title of the dungeon, Underworld Inn. Task. Work hard and survive for 2 days. Players in the dungeon now, 6. Yulin, after landing in the Underworld Inn, thought, "So this is the Underworld Inn?" Suddenly, other players also appeared. Other than Yulin, there were 5 other players. Some were confident, some were calm, and some were nervous. Yulin, after seeing the others, wondered, "Are these the other players in this dungeon?" An old man, noticing the others, said, "Looks like everyone here is new except for me." After hearing this, the purple-haired girl approached the old man and asked, "This isn't your first time, is it, sir?" The old man replied, "Exactly. I was in the 4th closed beta test, and I go through this every 2 weeks. This is my 5th time." Both girls were really surprised after hearing that this was the old man's 5th time in the underworld. The old man then raised his hand and said, "Don't take this lightly. I barely made it out each time. Newbies have a very small chance of surviving," he said, and asked them to look at his hand. "This is the price I paid to save myself." Both of the girls were scared after seeing this. However, Yulin, very curious, approached the old man and asked, "It's impressive that you survived so many dungeons, sir. Do you mind giving us newbies some tips?" The old man, noticing Yulin's calm demeanor, thought that he still had his wits about him and perhaps could survive this. He explained that the ghosts in Global Menace don't kill people at will. "As an old-timer, I have 2 tips for
This year, the African Leadership University embarked on the 2nd cohort of the
2 tips for everyone. First, the ghosts only kill the rule breakers. Second, the basic rules are presented to the players in a plain and simple way. Yulin, after hearing this, thought, "Pretty much what I found out yesterday. I can trust him on that. But he might be keeping certain precautions from us. Driven by the will to survive, he's very likely to use us as cannon fodder." Suddenly, everyone heard a door opening sound, and they all turned to look at the door. A creepy old man started approaching them. He came close to everyone and said, "Folks, welcome to the Underworld Inn." The creepy old man introduced himself as the bookkeeper, here to assign them tasks at the lady boss's command. Everyone was really scared, thinking this old man was so spooky. He must be a wrathful ghost, they thought. The bookkeeper explained that before they got to work, he would give them a brief overview of the inn's rulebook. Yulin, after hearing this, thought, "Here comes the death rule that can't be violated in Global Menace." The bookkeeper explained, "First and foremost, whether you are assigned to the front desk or the kitchen, you must be dedicated to your job. If you slack off, the boss will surely give you a hard time." Yulin, after seeing the bookkeeper's expression, thought, "It looks like the bookkeeper is also scared of his boss. That means his boss is a wrathful ghost more powerful than him, and she won't show mercy, even towards her own employees." The bookkeeper then explained the second rule. Everything in the inn is old and in disrepair, making it susceptible to damage. And thirdly, do not offend the customers. If you. However, most of our customers are quite touchy, and they'll find an excuse to rough you up without the boss coming to your rescue. After explaining the rules, the bookkeeper asked if anyone had any questions. However, everyone was so scared that no one dared to ask any questions. Seeing this, the bookkeeper said, "Okay, I'll assign the work then." He pointed his finger toward the old man and said, "Hey you, the big guy with the brawny shoulders, you look pretty strong. Go to the kitchen and help the cooks. Turn left when you enter, and you'll see the kitchen." The old man, after receiving his assignment, started walking toward the kitchen, but not before asking everyone to take care of themselves. After that, he went into the inn. After that, the bookkeeper approached the purple-haired girl and the yellow-haired boy, saying, "You lucky dogs are responsible for cleaning the guest rooms. Enter the inn and turn right, and ask Mrs. Zhang for the cleaning tools." Then he approached a middle-aged man who looked like an office worker and said to him, "You appear to be well-read. Go up to the 2nd floor and wait in the room marked Bookkeeper. I'll show you how to reconcile the accounts." After assigning tasks to the others, only Yulin and the pink-haired girl were left. Yulin wondered what task would be assigned to them. The bookkeeper approached Yulin and the pink-haired girl and said, "You kids have pretty tender skin and good looks. You two can handle the customers in the lobby. You don't need anyone teaching you how to take orders and serve food, do you? Keep walking after entering the door. The lobby is just ahead." He smiled towards them and added, "I hope you kids tread carefully." Don't make any mistakes. Got it? The pink-haired girl stood trembling in fear. However, Yulin grabbed her hand and started running towards the inn. The pink-haired girl thanked Yulin for earlier and told him that she is from the Lee family. Yulin replied that he would call her Lee, and she could call him Lin. However, he didn't reveal his real name, remembering that the player with the beard didn't introduce himself, so he thought it better not to say their full names. Miss Lee thanked him for the reminder and went into the lobby. Miss Lee, after seeing the empty lobby, asked Yulin what they should do next. Yulin explained that they would wait to greet the customers, knowing there's no time for fear. With their lives at stake, every step matters. After that, he started walking towards the door. Suddenly, he got scared after seeing a really big green monster. Saliva started dripping from its mouth after seeing living humans there. Yulin was a little scared after seeing him. However, he introduced himself and welcomed the guest. The ghost was deeply disappointed upon learning that Yulin is a waiter. If he hadn't spoken, the ghost might have mistaken them for a walking buffet. After escaping the ghost, Yulin realized that the global menace truly lives up to its name. Danger strikes very quickly. The green ghost sat at the table, which began to creak because it was old. Yulin was relieved that he didn't break the bench, or it could have gotten him into trouble. The green ghost gave Yulin 2 copper coins and asked him to get a pot of hot water first, and then fetch a bowl and chopsticks. Yulin said, "No problem," and started heading into the kitchen to get the items. However, after seeing the copper coins, he realized that they looked similar to his own. As he looked at the pots and other items, he thought, "If my eyes aren't playing tricks on me, those tableware pieces look so creepy." Miss Lee tried to help Yulin, but he stopped her saying, "The teapot is heavy, let me do it. We can't afford to make a mistake and offend our customer." But when Yulin lifted the pot, it suddenly started crying and asked Yulin to kill it. Miss Lee got scared after seeing this, and the pot started spilling hot water everywhere. Because of this, the pot slipped from Yulin's hands and broke. Miss Lee asked Yulin what they should do now and wondered if they should hide it. After seeing Miss Lee's reaction, Yulin was impressed that she didn't hurry to distance herself because he had broken the pot. Yulin said that he didn't think hiding it would work. Suddenly, the bookkeeper approached Yulin from behind and said, "You're so clumsy, young man. You broke the teapot right away. That teapot is worth 50 copper coins." He smiled and said, "I doubt you can afford it since you just started working. So pay with your right hand that broke the teapot." After saying this, the bookkeeper attacked Yulin. Meanwhile, Miss Lee, after seeing this, started screaming. Yulin stopped the bookkeeper and said, "Who says I can't afford it?" He asked the system to withdraw 50,000 nether tokens and convert them all into copper coins. Suddenly, a system notification popped up saying, "You've withdrawn 50,000 nether tokens. Balance, 9,754,999,950,000 nether tokens." The bookkeeper stepped back, visibly scared after seeing a really bright aura emanating from Yulin, and wondered, how can this human boy have such pure yin energy within him? It's even thicker and purer than mine. No, even the boss's. Meanwhile, Yulin retrieved the copper coins from the system. He threw 1,000 copper coins towards the bookkeeper and asked, "Is that enough?" The bookkeeper was surprised and wondered how it was possible for Yulin to have so much money. He grabbed the copper coins with his mouth and thought, 1,000 copper coins are enough to buy my life. If he promised the customer 1,000 copper coins to get rid of me, they'd be more than happy to oblige. Even the boss herself would gladly do the same, and he already has 5 threads of copper coins even now. There's no way he's a newbie. Meanwhile, Miss Lee was really surprised to see that the ghost was actually shocked by Yulin. After seeing the bookkeeper's expression, Yulin thought that even a ghost was subconsciously awed by the ultimate Tycoon system. He was startled by just 50,000 nether tokens. Imagine if he knew I have 9 trillion in my account, Yulin thought, smiling at the realization that his system was probably more powerful than he had thought. However, he noticed that based on the bookkeeper's reaction, the ghosts are clearly bound by the rules and cannot kill people for treasure. Then he picked up the 1,000 copper coins from the ground and handed them to the bookkeeper, saying, "Just take it and keep the change. You're a bookkeeper, aren't you the best at dealing with money?" However, the bookkeeper, with a trembling voice, said that it was too much money for him, and he couldn't accept it. Yulin urged him to keep the change, as he had tasks to finish. Yulin was assigned a task by the system. First purchase, in progress. Spend at least 100,000 nether tokens. Reward, cash card. X1, soul purification liquor. X10. Note, the system values the teapot of yin energy at 100 nether tokens. The system's premium settlement limit is 100 times the value, meaning any amount exceeding 100 times the teapot's value is not considered in the consumption task for the cash card and the soul purification liquor. Yulin understood that the compensation counted as consumption. While the cash card was useful, the soul purification liquor sounded like a big deal. He wondered if it might be related to controlling the ghosts and becoming a ghost commander. Even if money can solve many problems, the rules might blur at any moment. To stay safe in this world, they must ultimately rely on their own strength. While the rules of this dungeon are still clear, he must complete those system tasks promptly. Then, Yulin grabbed a plate from the side and asked the bookkeeper, "How much is this plate worth?" The bookkeeper replied, "It's worth 100 copper coins." Yulin grabbed all the plates and threw them to the ground, breaking them. Miss Lee and the bookkeeper were surprised by Yulin's bold move. However, Yulin handed all the copper coins he had withdrawn from the system to the bookkeeper and said, "Take this as my compensation, sir. As for the extra, I'm new here. It would be great if I could make friends with you and everyone else at the Underworld Inn." After witnessing this, the bookkeeper thought to himself, regardless of who this boy is or what he wants, he's definitely my big opportunity. He bowed in front of Yulin and said, "I'm not worthy of being your friend, but if you ever run into any problems, I will always be there to lend a hand." Yulin, after hearing this, simply replied, "Sure," and told him to keep the money. Yulin saw this as an opportunity to spend some money and complete the system task. But suddenly, he heard a voice saying, "Please stop right there, sir. You have to follow the rules. If you break something again, we won't be able to run our business." It was the lady boss's voice. Hearing the lady boss, Yulin thought to himself, "She doesn't sound like a wrathful ghost. She seems gentle and kind-hearted. Looks like my money got her talking. What a shame I can't spend more money this way." After that, he got the hot water pot and approached the guest, saying, "Sorry to keep you waiting, sir." He thought to himself that if the guest complained, he would just compensate him with money. However, the green ghost became really polite and told Yulin not to worry, as he was not in a hurry at all. Everyone was surprised to see the sudden change in the ghost's behavior. Meanwhile, the green ghost was thinking, putting his wealth aside, even I can't touch those things just by grabbing them like he did. Some big shot probably provided him with a spatial tool of yin energy. I can't afford to offend a human like him. Yulin smiled, seeing it as a good opportunity to spend money. He said to the green ghost, "No matter what, it's my fault for making you wait for so long. How about I pay for your meal today?" The green ghost, embarrassed by the offer, said he would be grateful. Yulin told him, "Don't worry, feel free to order anything from the menu, my friend." However, Yulin was disappointed because even the most expensive nourishing soup of yin energy only cost 100 copper coins. Spending power in this newbie dungeon was incredibly weak, to say the least. The green ghost, feeling a bit bold, nervously asked Yulin if he could order one portion of everything on the menu. Upon hearing this, the bookkeeper said he would go inform the cooks to prepare one portion of everything. Yulin, disappointed, instructed the bookkeeper that there should be no dishes under 30 copper coins, and to prepare 2 portions of every dish above 30 copper coins. The green ghost and the bookkeeper were both really happy after hearing this. The bookkeeper calculated all the dish money, and the total came to 830 copper coins. He asked Yulin if they could round it up, and Yulin agreed, giving him 1,000 copper coins. Everyone was shocked to see that Yulin had already spent 60,000 nether tokens, but he still had a long way to go to complete the system task. Miss Lee, after observing Yulin, tried to ask if he was rich. However, before she could ask, Yulin got a great idea. He grabbed Miss Lee by the shoulder and said, "You came just in time. I need a favor." He had her stand outside with a board announcing that all dishes were free for the day. As a result, many ghosts came to eat the free food and thanked Yulin for his generosity. If not for him, we would never have access to so much blood essence. Thanks to him, we can strengthen our yin energy, saving us a ton of effort and tears, and that pure and rich yin energy on his copper coins. They're spanking new! Not everyone can get copper coins like that. Perhaps the Ghost King handpicked him as his spokesman, and he's throwing cash around to get his name out there. One of the female ghosts wondered if Mr. Lin was married yet. Another asked her if she wanted to marry him. Meanwhile, Yulin was enjoying his time with his ghost friends. However, Miss Lee was surprised and wondered, isn't Lin a newbie? How does he have so much money? Yulin asked Miss Lee to take a break and told the bookkeeper, please get Lee one nourishing soup of yin energy and leave the money at the front desk. Finally, he had spent 100,000 nether tokens cumulatively. The system congratulated Yulin on successfully completing task 1, first purchase. The rewards, a cash card X1 and soul purification liquor X10, had been sent to his item inventory. He asked the system to open the item inventory and saw the soul purification liquor, which promotes soul strength and spiritual awareness upon consumption, and enhances the level of a ghost commander or ghost. Ingest up to 3 bottles. Further consumption is ineffective. This was exactly what he needed right now. Only when you're as fierce as a tiger can you hold the reins to your own destiny like a boss. Might as well strike while the iron's hot. I'll chug that soul purification liquor and become a ghost commander right now. When Yulin opened the purification liquor bottle, every ghost present in the inn started smiling, enchanted by the fragrance of the purification liquor. All the ghosts were really surprised and wondered what elixir it was, noting its exceptional purity and thickness of yin energy. Mr. Lin's background is truly mind-boggling, they thought. Yulin smiled and approached everyone. Standing on a branch, he said to everyone, guys, here's to all of you. Then he drank the purification liquor. After drinking, he started feeling such pure and bone-chilling spiritual energy in his body, and wondered, is this the yin energy itself? After drinking the purification liquor, he received a system notification. Soul purification liquor used. Spiritual awareness plus 10. Spiritual force plus 100. You've attained spiritual awareness, and can now use the attribute panel. He asked the system to open his attribute panel, and saw that he was a level 1 ghost commander with a spiritual awareness of 10 and spiritual force of 100. Yulin was surprised and thought, just sipping on that liquor gave me spiritual awareness and boosted my rank up to level 1 ghost commander. He realized that the soul purification liquor reward was truly top-notch, and he received a new task. Wondering what rewards will I get this time? He thought. Task 2. Splurge your money. In progress. Spend over 320,000 nether tokens in one go. Reward. Ghost contract. Primo. X5. Seeing the reward, Yulin thought, I'm already a ghost commander. With the Primo Ghost contract, I can assemble my own spectral squad. I've got to figure out a way to tackle task 2 ASAP. But as he was thinking about how to complete the system task, the green ghost noticed, Mr. Lin doesn't strike me as a strong man, but he's so generous and even carries that kind of spiritual liquor. He must be some big shot whose soul got damaged. I degraded to a ghost because of my stubborn streak, so being flexible is what I need. I'm only doing this to return Mr. Lin the favor. It's not brown-nosing. Absolutely not. He stood from his seat and said to Yulin, Mr. Lin, I hope I'm not being too presumptuous, but may I consider you as a brother? He explained that he really appreciated Mr. Lin treating him to such a delightful meal. He then took a mirror out of his bag and handed it to Yulin, saying, this is a yin energy tool. I don't know its level, but I'll gladly offer it to you. He had owned this mirror for years, but never really knew how to use it. All he knew was that when someone infused it with yin energy, it could reveal different ghosts and nearby gathering points of yin energy. Upon receiving the mirror, Yulin thought, what a peculiar tool of yin energy. This mirror doesn't seem to reflect anything. But suddenly, a system notification popped up saying, tool of yin energy detected, dragon soul locking mirror. The system has bonded it to you. The green ghost tried to please Yulin, saying, I think its true value isn't as obvious as it seems. It would be wasted in my hands, but it could come in handy for you. Yulin responded, absolutely. This dragon soul locking mirror is the real deal. It'll be extremely useful. The green ghost was surprised and thought, he really understands this enigmatic tool of yin energy. Then Yulin opened his spatial treasure and placed the dragon soul locking mirror inside. Everyone was shocked to see that Yulin had a storage spatial treasure. They realized that there was no way Yulin was just an ordinary person. He must have entered a deeper realm. They wondered exactly where he came from. All the ghosts realized that they had to do everything they could to curry favor with Yulin, whether that meant flattering him, buttering him up, or going to any lengths necessary. The old ghost called out to Yulin, saying, Sir, I've got a treasure for you too. Yulin smiled, approached him and asked, what do you have for me? Yulin was pleased, thinking that he was merely completing his task by treating them to meals. Who knew he'd be receiving gifts from heaven in return? The old ghost retrieved the skull necklace from his storage and gave it to Yulin, explaining that he had acquired this necklace of grudges from the ghost market. Wear it, and it will shield you from the yin energy onslaught of a ghost at the general level. Your soul will stay safe. It can also store yin energy and counterattack if necessary. The system has also bonded it to Yulin. While not as advanced as the mirror, practical offensive and defensive treasures are what he needs the most right now.